the three Israelites, we all come in peace.
Hey.
We come from the southeast.
Yeah. Sign right there. Tell me what nation of people you are. The right side, no, the left side is the nation that God called Israelites. On the right side is who we call ourselves today. So then, which one are you on that sign right there? The first one, that reads the tribe of Judah. All right. So the tribe of Judah, the scriptures say that we will be at the necks of our enemies. That we the #1 tribe of those people. And also that we are the gateways of heaven. All right? So hit that one. Let's get that one in Revelation. That's right. So just because your name, you was able to call your name out. That's your father right there. You was able to call your name out. You about to see how special you are to God. What is heaven? Do you know? I got you, bro.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. Shalom, King. Verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And
the first heaven, they knew that they was heaven. They had powers like King David, Solomon. You ever heard of Samson? He had strength to just take down 1,000 men, all right? So they knew that they was heaven when they was calling themselves that. So they were the first heaven. And we failed. And now we don't remember who we are. But until we are shown again, like we've done right now, we let you know, okay, you pointed out I'm a Jew. All right? So watch this.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from heaven, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Verse 11, having the glory of God in her light, verse 12, and had a wall great and high.
All right, so this is the kingdom of heaven, bro. This is heaven. It's talking about heaven gates, all right? It had a wall great and high.
And at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
How many names do you see on that paper right there? That's right. 12, right? That's every gate of heaven. Our Father's name is on it, bro. You just called out your Father. That means you are a gateway of heaven. Lift up your heads on your gates.
You ever heard that before? That you was the gateway to heaven, bro? Nobody told you that before?
That's a plan, bro. That's a plot. That's why they call us colors. That's why they call us niggas. That's why they call us blacks. So that they can keep us from learning that we are the most special people on this earth, bro.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 24, verse 7. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors.
So lift up your head, bro.
And the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors.
And the King of glory shall come in.
That's right, that's right. So, gates of heaven are those 12 men right there, and all of their children that are still on this earth today. You just found out that you a gateway to heaven, bro. Now, what does it mean to be a gateway of heaven?
Lord said, who much is given, much is required.
All right.
What do you expect of you?
So coming back to the Father takes action, bro. Let's what you got? All right, let's go.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
Right.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
To keep the commandments, bro. You got it? So that's the action that God asks about people. Let's get 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. Can you tell me what love is? Somebody. It's a lot of different. Right, exactly. In this world, there's a lot of etymologies, but God has his own description and definition of what love is and how we present it to each other. All right. So a man could meet a woman on the first day and say, "I love you," but he hasn't shown no action. You get it? And she might bite and listen, but if he's not able to present God, he don't know what love is. You follow me? So we're gonna give you an example.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
That's God's love. The action that we're supposed to take is to keep his commandments. So what commandments do you know that we're supposed to keep?
John 15, verse 10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
All right, here's John 14, verse 15.
This is the book of John, chapter 14, and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
This is the good news of the Bible, bro, is that if you being a Hebrew, a gateway to heaven, if you keep the commandments, God is going to start rocking with you, bro. And it's a global thing. If all our people do it, this type of situation, we're not going to have it no more, bro. We're going to come out of it. All right? So, let's deal with commandments, all right? Let me show you why I call you a Jew, okay? Go to Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to show you why I say that. Hey, look, because that sign say you're a Jew, pointed out, things that happen to us that we supposed to remember. So let's get verse 45.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee.
So we went under curses. All right? Go to verse 1. Go to verse 15. We're going to go right back to 45.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, all these, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So when we stop following the commandments, that's when curses come upon us, all right? That's when we go through slavery. That's when we go through black on black crime, when really it's Israelite on Israelite crime. Curses come on us and we stop loving each other. All right, now we're going to go back to 45.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
To destroy a whole people? Because I'm saying we the people that wrote this Bible. To destroy us is to make us forget who we are. The white men, they know who they are, all right? They under the same earth. They were created by the same God, but they not in the same situation as we are. The Asian man, they not in the same situation as we are. The African man, they not in the same situation as we are. These curses only apply to the people that wrote this Bible. Right. This is not talking to Asians, Arabs, white men, Chinese men. It's not talking to none of them. It's only talking to us. And so when we stop following the commandments, here we go. Destruction. Destruction, bro.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Right? 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So the curses are upon us for a sign. That's a sign. What sign that say right there on that building? Jack in the Box. You see the sign of Jack in the Box all the way down there on South Bank, you already know I could go east, right? So these curses is a sign for us to know that you a Hebrew, bro.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
So these curses that I'm about to show you, they're a sign and a wonder, and upon our children, our seed. Your seed come out of you when you go into your woman. Follow? And it's been going on ever since the Bible was written. We've been having more and more children, filling up this earth, but we still this people, but we was destroyed to be made to forget that, all right? And so here goes a curse that's a sign for us to remember that you this people, bro. 68. I got you.
Check these signs out as I read these verses. Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And
the transatlantic slave trade is when we got scattered. They took us from the place where we was in Africa, and they started scattering us into the Bahamas, into the Caribbean.
It's way on that side.
Facts.
On that right side, they scattered us all over the world, bro.
Into America, and we was scattered, bro. And just like the scriptures say, these people gonna get scattered amongst the whole world.
Verse 65. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind.
A trembling heart, bro. We don't have no rest and no ease. When we driving our car, we might got a warrant for our rest. They could pull us over. And then now it's getting so bad, they could pull us over and strike us down with their weapons. You feel me? Without even doing nothing. How many times we done seen that in the past, what, 7, 8 years? Men dying without even being armed by our police. We don't have no ease in this country, bro, amongst our enemies.
For thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. Verse 67. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even? And at even thou shalt say, would God if it were morning? For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Okay, so what is Egypt? Egypt. Shalom, what's up, bro? You believe in God? All praises, bro. That's why we out here to teach. We out here to teach that men like you, men like me, are the sons of God.
Right.
And we are the Hebrews that the whole Bible was written of. You follow me?
Right.
All right? And so when we out here in destruction, like, for example, black on black crime. You heard of it before? Right.
You don't know who I am, though?
I can't see. I don't got my glasses on.
That's
Come here, bro. What you mean? Just tell me that.
Hey, he is blind without his glasses, man.
I don't got my
Take it
glasses.
personal, man. I be scared to ride with him without his
why I had
glasses.
no glasses when you used to be in my house. You had the GSP.
Hey.
You ain't had no glasses then.
What's up, man?
What you been up to, bro?
Real quick, bro. I'm gonna finish this for you, real quick, bro.
Where you at right now? Where you at?
Well,
You still got the
Egypt,
GP?
right? Exodus 20 verse 2.
Where you at? You
You know,
still
when
stay
we
up
was
there,
in
though?
Egypt, we was slaves, right?
How your baby doing?
Exodus 20 verse 2.
Bless, bro.
It
Everybody.
says, I am the
just
Lord
gave
thy
him one
God,
message,
which
like,
brought thee
man,
out
I'm
of the land of
Yeah,
Egypt,
yo.
from the house of bondage.
Go on here, handle your business. I just got from work. I'm still out of the house. Slow, bro. All right.
68. And the Lord shall bring thee, Shalom, King. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Exactly, bro. So we were brought here on ships, right? And that's a curse, bro, for our seeds to remember forever that we are this people right here, bro. And so why are we out here today? Go to 58 and 1. Isaiah 58 verse 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
We gotta sow sins to each other. That's why we out here, bro. You gotta let us know that when we not following commandments, we under these curses. When we begin to follow commandments, love each other, remember that we are special people, then the curses are gonna be taken away from us, bro. And the reason why Christ, let's get that.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
That's a commandment right there. That we're supposed to love each other. And the love, what's love again? Keeping the commandments, bro. Absolutely, bro. And anytime, bro, we gotta YouTube each other. Let me, you got the phone with you? The YouTube channel is Mountains of Israel. Because God say that iron sharpens iron. And so we need each other to go into the word, learn it, so that the things that he's prepared your mind to understand, you can sharpen me with. The things that I prepare my mind to understand, you can sharpen you with. And the same with my brother, it all go in unison, bro. You gotta be a team, bro. A nation of holy people.
Questions, anything, little bro? Nationality according to the Bible?
So what's your nationality? One more time. What you got right here? Tribe of Judah. That's right.
You know Kendrick Lamar, right? What do you say?
The Israelites, bro. We're not black men. Only thing we are is Israel. Anything other than that is a curse to us.
My word.
Right. And so just to follow the commandments, remember who you are, love your brothers, and wake your brothers up. Let them know what sin is. That's important to us, bro. Check out the YouTube, bro, and if you ever want to contact us, we out here every Wednesday, bro.
You got the channel already? You put it on the phone? What's up, bro? Be safe.
Long, bro.
And who controlling the weather? Who created gravity just to hold it together? Who create catastrophe but tell you first in the letter? Who can make a bastard speak like he the chosen or better? Who could take your whole house with your whip and your cheddar, then get it all back when you get it together? Who invented Berettas? Who invented the K's, man? Who invented these snipers? You can get it today, yeah, some think that he played. Some thinking it's a game, cause they just think of his love. They don't think of them flames, no, they don't think of them chains. They don't think of the fields, they just think it's a book. They don't think that it's real, they just think of their bills. 24-inch wheels, they should think of 100 degrees, no wind chill. When he say he gon' do it, he never lie. If he tell you not to do it, you do it, you gotta die. We Habakkuk 2 and 2 it, you knew it, you can't deny. Prophets in the street screaming, telling you to comply. Now one of you can try to act like you didn't know what's going throughout the world, rain, hail, sleet, or snow. If you a Gentile, bow down to the flow. Well, Lord is what you need, just holler at my bro, Juke.